I took out $38,000 in loans. That $38,000 has now exploded to today, it's nearly $200,000. It's just ridiculous. I would say student loans today are a full-on national threat. And I mean that in the strongest sense of the word. I've been looking at this problem really closely over the years. This is a predatory lending system.
Adults honor contracts. Adults can't just do away with any problems by saying, well, the government will help me out. These students, it's important for them to learn this lesson early on of personal responsibility.
This is a pattern that we're seeing of deferred responsibility and somewhat instant gratification, shirking responsibility off of our backs into the backs of taxpayers.
You know, it's very easy to wag your finger at students when either you don't understand how viciously and unconstitutionally predatory these loans are, or if you're actually a paid shill for a paid troll for the industry. They really need to study this lending system. This is a lending system so vicious and predatory and unconstitutional that nobody who has never had student loans could possibly fathom how vicious these loans have become. The entire lending industry, so the guarantors, the servicers, Navy and Sallie Mae, Great Lakes, etc., they have lobbied Congress very effectively. And quite frankly, the Department of Education is essentially a captured agency. It is run by people from those companies that I just mentioned. The Office of Federal Student Aid is completely stacked with these insiders. No interest in looking out for the interests of the borrowers, and they have every desire and intention of making as much money from the borrowers as possible. And they can do it because they have all the power. No bankruptcy rights, no statutes of limitations. The borrowers, us, we're being treated like piñatas.
150 years ago, incredibly brave Americans said working class kids, low income kids should not have to work in factories or on the farms. Like rich kids, they deserve to get a free education. And that free education of extraordinary accomplishment was from first grade to 12th grade. The world has changed. In many ways, a college degree today is equivalent to what a high school degree was 50, 60 years ago.
I mean, this is the fight of our times. I can only hope that the younger people out there will realize they do not have to put up with this sort of financial slavery. They don't have to put up with this sort of oppression. I mean, the founding fathers are on our side. Well, the founding fathers, who themselves were being lampooned by British banks and merchants under predatory debt, they called for uniform bankruptcy laws, ahead of the power to declare war, ahead of the power to raise an army, ahead of the power to even coin currency. So this is exactly what's been taken away from student loans, and only from student loans, by the way. Student loans are the only type of loans in this country to not have the same bankruptcy protections that all other loans have. Also, with statutes of limitations taken away, it makes it possible for the lenders to hound the borrowers for the rest of their lives. That turns the lending system into one where the lenders have carte blanche to tack on every penalty, every fee legally, or maybe even sometimes illegally. And the borrowers have absolutely no recourse. In the absence of bankruptcy protections, statutes of limitations, and so many other fundamental rights that exist for every other type of loan, this lending system has really turned viciously against the people. We've documented 6 or 7 suicides at this point. People are literally fleeing the country and not coming back. People are not getting married. They're not buying houses. They're going off the grid. They're going into the underground economy. I mean, I could go on for a while here, but it's just astounding and shocking. I think they're going to either have to, at a minimum, return bankruptcy rights, or they're going to have to cancel all student loans, because student loans are about to become one very large national joke, very cruel joke. But the citizens really need to band together on this, and leaders like Senator Sanders really need to lead the way, because others in Congress have displayed a serious lack of courage up to this point. I mean, look, if we can throw $7 trillion into Iraq and Afghanistan, can we not throw $1 trillion or so at student loan debt? I mean, come on, people. What did we get out of Afghanistan and Iraq? I can't point to anything. I don't feel safer. Come on now. This is just nonsense. We need to get our priorities straight. And that includes both the Republicans and the Democrats in Congress. I think at this point, they're two sides of a pretty stained coin, and we've got to revitalize that.